Welcome back to the Vertu YouTube channel. Now Dacia, we are used to them making very affordable cars. We see quite a few of them. We're used to the Sandero, we're used to the Duster. Now, enter the Spring, the small EV from Dacia, to rival all of those small EVs. If you stick with me, I'll tell you why this could be possibly someone's first car, or that second little runaround. Let's talk money, because you are going to be pretty pleased at these numbers. I mentioned affordable, and I wasn't messing about. Dacia do affordable cars very, very well. Pricing points, there are two trims. There's Expression and then there is Extreme. This is Extreme, and that could be yours for around about £16,990 from a Vertu dealership today, as in the day of filming. Or you go for the Expression, which is the entry-level model, and that is £1,000 cheaper, £15,990 again from a Vertu dealership today, as in the day of filming. Further to pricing, and before I get driving it and talk about the design of it and all that sort of stuff, let's talk about Motability, because this car is one of the most affordable cars out there on the Motability scheme. In fact, today, as in the day of filming, this car is actually available with a 0 advance payment. So that is very, very interesting to know. And also because of the range and the manoeuvrability and what is so good locally in and around town, and we'll cover all of that. Interesting enough, for first time EV customers, the Motability scheme will cover your home charging point as well, the installation of that. So that is again a very, very good reason to look at this, the Dacia Spring. Okay, let's talk design and looks, because we judge with our eyes. Now this is the Extreme version. We'll flip up a picture of the Expression version. You can see the subtle differences straight away. We've got some copper accents there on the mirrors, and then we've got some little bit of a beefier side skirts and bits like that, just to make it look that little bit more attractive and sporty. And you probably noticed something as well. This is a small EV, remember, going to be rivaling the Corsa, for example, maybe the Dolphin Surf that we drove a few weeks ago. It's not exactly built like a small car. They've made it a little bit more risen from the ground. They've made it with roof bars, for example. They've given it a little bit more sort of beefier sort of accents around the arches and side skirts and stuff like that. They've made it look... Cameraman just got attacked by a bee. You got attacked by a bee, that's why it shook, and we're keeping that in there. They've made it look a lot more like a crossover stroke SUV, not a small EV that's going to be like a Toyota Aygo. And that is the way these small cars are getting designed now. They're looking a little bit like, dare I say it, the Suzuki Ignis. I said that for the Dolphin Surf, and you can see the similarities. I think Dacia have done what they do. They've made it pretty attractive. It's actually quite nice from the front. Very electric looking, smooth grooves rather than sort of harsh grooves. Now we've got a little bit in the headlights, and that sort of light bar across, I think really looks quite nice from the front, and pretty standard from the back as well. But the interesting one with this is they've given it a little bit of a raised stature, and I quite like that. As I mentioned, rear styling, fairly basic, but I do like this little bit of effect with Dacia. Again, the copper accent on there as well. And I think the Extreme looks a little bit different to the Expression. That's what you want for the top of the range model, even though there's not massive difference in terms of price range. Remember that. Lots of other brands will make you pay ridiculous amounts for that top of the range version. Now, let's talk about the boot space, because I was pleasantly surprised. 308 litres of boot space. Now, we're talking about small EVs. That's pretty big. It's going to be bigger than the Aygo that I mentioned. It's actually bigger than the Dolphin Surf as well, and that's what it's going to be up against. So definitely enough in there for your Friday big shop at Aldi. Other brands are available as well. And yeah, we've got a little bit of under floor sort of compartment space for cables and what not. Interestingly though, as the cameraman pointed out, there is not a 50-50 split. There's not even a 60-40 split. There's not a 40-40-20 split. It's just one big back seat. It's just what's that? Is that 100% or 0%? Either way, it's not split. But you put it down by pulling these, and it goes down all the way. And then you're getting around about over 1,000 litres of space in the back of this small EV. Right, first of all, on the inside of here, I'm pretty pleased for space. I was expecting to be a little bit cramped because it looks pretty spacious from the outside, doesn't always match up on the inside, but no, I'm pleasantly pleased. I can get a nice driving position. Seats aren't electric or anything like that. You wouldn't expect that on a car of this sort of price point, but very, very nice indeed. Two things that really jump out at me. The driver display. This is a 7-inch screen that I've got here, actually bigger than some SUVs that we've driven out there, which I really, really like. I'm always surprised that some of the bigger cars that we've driven have a really tiny driver display when they've got so much information to fit when it comes to an EV. So yeah, that's really, really nice. Nothing sort of flashy about it, but very, very good. This is a 10.1-inch infotainment system here as well. Very responsive, but has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on there as well. So again, very easy to use. Nothing hard about it as well. Simplicity is a key when it comes to this Dacia. Another thing that jumps out at me is buttons. I have buttons for my climate control. Fantastic on a day like this. I don't have to faff around. I can use these knobs and buttons, and we know that I am a fan of that rather than having to do it all on the infotainment system. Again, it might be a price point thing, like does it look cheaper down here? I don't think it cheapens a car to have buttons, so that is fantastic. Quirky thing about it, I was looking for the window controls over here. They're just on the inside here, so everything is there in that center console for buttons, which is absolutely fine. I've got two USB-C charging points. Again, very, very good that. We've driven some more substantial cars that only have one, and then they have like a USB. Who uses USB anymore? One thing you'll expect is materials on here to be pretty plasticky, and they are, but they've got a little bit of a quirky design to them, especially on this Extreme trim. We've got these sort of copper accents that are on the outside, they flow through to the inside, and we've got a little bit of a two-tiered dash here that we've got. A bit of hard plastic on the side, but you've got a little bit of storage space for the passenger, or if you're just going to put your keys in there and whatnot. And then we've got plenty of storage. Got a big glove box, got big door bins that fit lots in there. We've got this little center console that's got a space for your phone and keys and change if you carry any cash nowadays. And you've got this massive storage compartment there as well as a little bit of space just under the manual handbrake. Let's bring back manual handbrake, shall we? Took me a little while, but there, it's there. So storage, not a problem. Also, Dacia have got something called U-clip. U-clip. Make that something. You're probably wondering what that is. Basically, that is a number of little points in and around the car that allow you to sort of mount a mobile phone, lights, other things like that. There's one just here. We'll show you some imagery to show you what we mean. It's just a handy little thing that Dacia have put in the car to you know, I guess they're saying a car of this price point isn't going to have absolutely everything like a fully fledged SUV would have, and maybe some other well-known brands, but it's allowing you to customize your cabin. I think that's quite a nice touch. Another thing as well, finally, these seats in here do not feel cheap. Remember, this is a very affordable EV, small EV, and this one here on the Extreme trim has that sort of copper stitching in them. We've got half leather, half sort of cloth material, and we've got a little bit of a khaki green here with the Dacia logo in there as well, embedded. So again, they don't feel cheap, they actually feel very, very nice indeed, very comfortable as well. Something that's going to be interesting to you campers out there, it may look like an SUV, it's a small EV, but this has vehicle to load functionality, V2L. You're probably wondering what that is. If you are, it means you can actually power bits like laptops, kettles, sort of phones, all that sort of stuff, actual appliances via the car's battery, and that's going to be very, very helpful when in a remote place as we are today, or camping and places like that. In terms of safety and warranty, obviously we're expecting a lot of modern cars, almost all of them, to come with those safety options, the auto driving options, where it sort of applies the brakes for you when needed, tells you when you're a little bit too close to something in front of you, lane assist, blind spot assist, all of that sort of stuff. And good news, this has it, even though it's such a small vehicle. And also in terms of the Dacia warranty, it is 60,000 miles or 3 years, whatever comes first. Right, not too many thrills and spills in the back here, but the main thing is space. My feet go right under the seat in front, despite all the electrical stuff. They've risen this car nicely, and they've risen it up here as well. They've made it look like an SUV. How many times am I actually going to say that? I've got lots of headroom, and that's my driving position there. Also, worth mentioning, it is only a two-seater, very similar to a lot of the cars of this range, but ISOFIX points are easily located there and easily accessible. There's no zips or clips getting in the way. Very accessible there as well. When looking for small EVs, Dacia, of course, are going to have something very cost effective and something that I think when you drive is going to rival most other things out there on the road. Now, obviously, there's going to be a few rivals. The Corsa electric. We've got the Citroën C3E. We've also got Renault 5, of course, and we drove a BYD Dolphin Surf as well the other day. They're all going to have a very, very strong presence on UK roads. However, the Dacia Spring is going to be in and around your decision making when it comes to buying perhaps a first car, because it offers you that value for money, and it's definitely going to be capable in and around town. We've driven it today, and what I would say is that this is perfect for town driving. Now, the Dacia range does come with a few different trims and models. Now, the Dacia Spring is predominantly going to be a 65 brake horsepower EV. It's going to not exactly set the world alight when it comes to 0 to 60 and off the line power. However, you do get the instantaneous torque with all electric vehicles, and it feels really, really comfortable to drive. It's not exactly very low to the ground like old sort of small cars used to be when I was just passing my test, which is many, many moons ago. It's got a little bit of a raised sort of stance to it, which I quite like about it. It makes it feel like it's got a little bit more road presence. But what this has got is really good manoeuvrability in and around town, because you've got that instantaneous torque when you put your foot down. You don't actually feel like you're in a slouch of a car at all, because I remember back in the day, if you mention something's got less than 100 brake horsepower, all you remember is just hearing the sort of engine trying so hard when you're getting up a hill, or when you're sort of leaving a busy junction. You always got to rev it, and it sounds absolutely awful, like it's going to blow up, or like a hairdryer. This, however, because it's electric, feels no different to any other electric vehicle when you've got something really, really supreme and quick, or you've got something low powered like this. In and around town driving is what this is for, as we've mentioned, and you'll be pleased to know that I'm achieving an efficiency level of around about 4.5 to 4.7 miles per kilowatt hour. So that is, again, pretty decent. What I'll notice about this is visibility is good, very good out the back, because I've got that raised stance, and because I'm in the Spring Extreme, I've got enough touch-ins to keep me pretty happy, as well as maybe appealing to someone looking to be a first-time buyer. Now, I remember the days of when I was looking for either a Renault Clio, Ford Fiesta, Vauxhall Corsa, even the Citroën Saxo was popular when I was passing my test. Now, they were all very low to the ground, very similar cars, aesthetically pleasing, the sportier trim you got. This, with the Extreme, gives you a little bit more in the way of external touchings and interior little features. But once you get the grips with the cost, the efficiency levels, as well as feeling that you're a little bit raised and not in a tiny, tiny car, I think there's going to be a lot of people that opt for this. That is the Spring Extreme. Now, what have I got to say about this car? Well, affordability has been the thing. I've mentioned it about 12 times, probably about 20 times. Anyway, you get the point. This is one of the most affordable EVs out there, small EVs, definitely. And the fact that there's not a massive price gap between the entry-level version to the Extreme here with that little bit more power and the little bit more accents on the outside in terms of design, I think is a really, really cool thing. I think we're going to see a lot of these because parents that are looking to get their 17-year-old, 18-year-olds into a first car, this is going to be fantastic when it comes to numbers and efficiency. And then for that second family car, I think this is going to tick a lot of boxes. But do not just trust me. Get in contact with Vertu. Try the Dacia Spring or the Dacia Spring Extreme. You won't regret it. We'll see you very soon for another car.